everyone, it's Taylor here. Welcome to the Tailored Expressions YouTube channel. It is our April release, and today I wanted to share with you one of our new stamp sets. This is called Simply Stamped Wreath. So our Simply Stamped series of stamps is meant to be stamped together in layers to create a dimensional look for your stamped images. So I'm going to start with the base layer. You can see the two leaves there at the bottom. That's what you're going to use to line up each layer. So the next layer, you can see that I have solid leaves there at the bottom, and those are the two little pieces that are going to fit in with the two leaves at the bottom of the base layer. And then when you move up to the layer of berries, you can see there's one berry that's much larger than the others, and that's going to fit right inside those two leaves. So hopefully that makes lining things up a little bit easier. I have the base here, and I have found the two leaves at the bottom. I'm lining those up towards the bottom of my MISTI and inking up that stamp with lime zest ink. I have a piece of grid paper over on the right, so I'm just going to take that lid and close it to stamp down onto the grid paper. So then one of my favorite tricks for mass producing projects is to use the negative of the die cut to line up the image. So I can drop my piece of sugar cube die cut right into that piece, just like a puzzle, and ink it up once again with the lime zest ink. And then when you put that down over the top, you're going to get it aligned perfectly. Now, to make the most of the work you've already done aligning this, I would say go ahead and do several so you have enough to make a whole set of note cards, just as I am doing here. Now, lime zest ink is one of our new colors this month. You can see it's a really pretty lime green on those wreaths there. So the next step is going to be to line up our second layer. You can see I found those two small solid leaves at the bottom, and I'm just aligning them about where I think they should go and attaching it to the top of my lid. So here I have a piece of transparency which I'm going to attach to the MISTI with a little bit of washi tape. Then I'm going to ink up that stamp there on the left with sweet basil ink and put that down onto the transparency. So you can see that image stamped onto my clear piece of transparency, and I am going to put one of my stamped die cut pieces back into the puzzle, take the tape off, and then align those darker green lines exactly where I want them. So as I ink that up with the darker sweet basil ink and put that down, you can see it stamps just perfectly right where I want it. And again, you want to take your additional pieces, since you've already spent the time lining that up, and go ahead and stamp several of these all at one time. You are going to do something very similar with the next layer for the berries. So once you have that berry stamp, you'll want to find your biggest berry, as I mentioned before. Of course, you want to wipe off your transparency, and here you can see I have found the largest berry right there. And you're going to align that towards the bottom again, right about where those two leaves are. Attach it to the lid of your MISTI. Ink that up and stamp it down onto your transparency. Remove that piece again and line it up right where you want it, and then flip your transparency up so you're stamping directly onto the wreath. So once you finish all three of those, you have three beautiful wreaths to create into a set of note cards like I've done here with the bow and the sentiments from this stamp set, Simply Stamped Wreath.